Have you ever had that moment where you look back at something you used to think was the peak of fun, and now it just feels different? Today, we're going to talk about that. We're diving into how our entire definition of fun can get a complete overhaul. Okay, so think back with me for a second. What did fun mean to you, like 10 or 15 years ago? Really picture it. Got it? Good. Hold that thought, because we're about to explore why that picture has probably changed, maybe a lot. All right, first up, the old definition of fun. And that subtitle, man, chaos wrapped in a good time. That kind of says it all, doesn't it? It was loud, it was fast, and it always came with a price tag. This quote just nails that feeling, right? This brand of fun, it wasn't really about connection or peace. Nope. It was a whirlwind, a blur, anything to keep from standing still for even a second. And in reality, this fun was actually a strategy. A strategy that started with pure, uncut distraction. Just crank up the volume on everything outside so you don't have to hear what's going on inside. And all that distraction, it was really just a fancy costume for avoidance. It was about sidestepping the hard stuff, dodging the truth, and just putting off the work of being okay with yourself. And what does all that add up to? Well, it's about one thing: escape. A temporary trap door out of your own life, out of your own head, a quick fix that, let's be honest, never really lasted. Because that kind of high always, and I mean always, had a crash waiting on the other side. It was built on running, and you can only run so far before you trip. The noise would stop, and you'd be right back where you started, probably just a little more worn out. So you end up with this really sharp contrast. Then it was all about running from your life. But what happens when you finally stop running? Well, that's when you start to find yourself aligned with your life. And that changes the entire game. This brings us to a whole new chapter, the joy that stays. And notice that word, joy, not just fun. The subtitle here is everything. It slips in quiet. This isn't something you have to hunt down. It's something that finds you. This new kind of fun, this joy, it feels completely different. It's that deep sigh of peace after you've made it through a personal storm. It's that real, genuine laughter that only comes after you've survived something really hard. It's the joy that shows up not because you got away, but precisely because you stayed. You see, this kind of joy is subtle. It's not a party. It's that feeling of relief after you finally had that honest conversation you were terrified of. Or it's the quiet satisfaction of seeing a project through to the end. It's that little whisper inside that says, wow, I did that. I got through it. And here's the amazing part. This feeling isn't just a fleeting thing. It actually starts to change you from the inside out. This quiet joy literally rewires your brain and teaches your entire system that, hey, it's actually safe to hope again. So here's how that rewiring process works. Step 1, you show up for yourself, even when it's the last thing you want to do. Step 2, because you did that, you experience a moment of real, authentic joy or peace. That leads to step 3. Your brain gets the memo. It learns, hey, facing that wasn't the end of the world. We're safe. And after a while, you hit step 4. That old familiar negativity, it just doesn't fit anymore. I absolutely love this metaphor. It's not about a big dramatic fight. You're not wrestling your old habits into submission. Instead, you're just filling up the space with these little moments of goodness. The darkness doesn't get kicked out. It just gets crowded out by all the light. Which brings us to our final and maybe most profound idea here. Fun doesn't just feel different now. It becomes deeply important. It becomes sacred. It's no longer a distraction from your life. It's a core reason to show up for it. This is really the heart of it. The joy we're talking about, it isn't trivial or silly. It's not some extra bonus you get if you're lucky. No, it's essential. It is proof of life, proof of progress, and a truly sacred part of the whole journey. So why is it sacred? Well, because these moments of joy are how we remember that we're actually alive, especially after times when we felt numb. It's how we can stop and celebrate the incredibly hard steps we've taken to get here. And it's how we hold on to the truth that this messy, beautiful, complicated life is absolutely worth showing up for every single day. So I'll leave you with this to think about. We spend so much of our lives chasing the loud, the spectacular. But what if the real magic, the real proof that we're living fully, is found in the complete opposite? What if the quietest moments are actually the ones where we are the most alive?